Hello, welcome into the first edition of the Danny Sancomb Show in 2026. Coach, it's been a good run here for the Vulcans so far. PSAC crossover play is now finished. West play starting up here this week. A couple big games, but at least it's nice to know you ended the year on some wins and you started the year with some wins.
Yeah, we did. We got some momentum going right now, and the main thing is just to keep it going.
So looking back here, the first game we're going to talk about is the Shippensburg game. It's played on December 16th here in the Combo. One of those little odd ones. Start time for you at 5 o'clock. But it's the first one over break. Guys playing crossover with Shippensburg and really got that game going.
We did. We played well. You know, we moved the ball well. We scored the ball. Our defense was very good. We presented some problems and some challenging shots for them, and we were able to get in transition and get some easy baskets.
In that game, it was a big victory there, ending up 95-76. And you're going to notice something here, a lot of these scores, a lot of high numbers, a lot of games in the 90s there. But Bryson Lucas had 27, Antoine had 21, and those guys were efficient across the board, basically combining for like 12 rebounds, 11 assists, and a couple of steals as well.
Yeah, they're both tough matchups. You know, Bryson has the ability to shoot the ball well, put it on the floor. Antoine, the same thing, shoot it and put it on the floor. And when those guys get downhill and they're active, they're really hard to defend.
Yeah, the Vulcans scored 54 points in the paint that game and shot 61% in the second half. So really the idea that the offense is really clicking, and they scored 21 points off a turnover. So once you got the ball, you're actually be able to move it and capitalize on those turnovers.
Yeah, I think that's been the big thing since we started to play well. Our defense has been able to get us some easy opportunities on the offensive end.
And then from there, taking a couple days off, but starting up a weekend crossover trip over to Lock Haven. Game there a little bit different, not nearly the kind of blowout there, but you guys found a way at the end. Earlier this year, you lost a couple games at the buzzer. This one, you were on the right side of the buzzer beater. Just talk about that kind of contest there. And Antoine hits the game-winning shot, but it wasn't his best day offensively, but just found a way, balls in his hands, and just makes that shot at the end.
Yeah, big shot by Antoine. You know, we drew something up. He made a read and got a little bit of space and elevated and made the mid-range shot, which he's very capable of doing. It was a hard-fought game. You know, Lock Haven was very prepared. We didn't take care of the basketball well at all that game. It was a lot of self-inflicting wounds on us on the offensive end where we either threw the ball away or we threw the ball to them where they were able to get some baskets in transition. Our defense really won us the game. We played very good on that end, and we needed it because it was a hard-fought game going over there, and we were very lucky to get the win.
Yeah, it ended up being a 63-61 victory there for the Vulcans. I referenced turnovers there, had 19 there in the game, but finding a way. Both teams really struggled from beyond the arc in the second half. Both teams only shot 1 of 7, but in the game, Buchanan finished with 15. Bryson had a double-double of 14 and 11, and Joshua Ray had 10 and 11. So yeah, good guys there, being able to get some balance there with some offense. 4 guys in double figures.
Yeah, and that's our key. You know, we spread it around. Even though we didn't score efficient, we did have, you know, 4 guys that were able to get us in double figures, and it was just enough to get the win. And it was, like I said, a very hard-fought win.
And the next day you come back, going to Mansfield. Lock Haven to Mansfield is not an easy trip, but it's one of those things there. You guys found a way to finish business there before the Christmas break. Committed only 10 turnovers that day, so obviously handled the ball a lot better. I'm sure it was a point of emphasis on that bus trip and to the guys on the walk in the morning, make sure we could protect the basketball, getting a 93-70 victory at Mansfield.
Yeah, and again, you know, a big thing for us, you know, is just the defense. Obviously, 93 points, we were able to get some easy baskets because our defense created some transition opportunities for us, and we moved the ball around, and, you know, we were pretty efficient from the field.
In that game, Antoine ended up leading with 19, but Bryson had 16 and 12. Joshua Ray, another double-double with 13 and 13. And Keandre coming off the bench, getting his best performance to date so far in the season with 18 points and 5 boards off the bench. So getting some contributions there outside just the starting 5 in that contest. Yeah,
well, first Josh has played very, very well. You know, obviously Dowman went down with the wrist injury, and Josh really has elevated his game and is a great rebounder and scores around the basket very well. And then to get Keandre back, obviously, from football, starting to get his legs under him and starting to play well. So it just has grown our depth, which we needed, and kind of like where we're at with the number of bodies we have that can play for us right now.
So you guys take some time off, you send them home for a couple of days and come back. You got to come back relatively early because you got a game on January 2nd. So just talk about the idea of when you guys figure out, obviously the NCAA has this dead period there, but when you guys get them back, they got to make sure there's no Christmas hangover because they have to play a game on January 2nd. So there's no New Year's festivities for them because they got a business trip on January 2nd.
Yeah, it's a lot that you need your guys to be able to do some stuff on their own over the holidays. Obviously, we don't want them playing. We don't want them to get hurt. But but we need them, working out, keeping their skill set. And our guys did good. We came back, and I felt like, the first practice is always rough. I don't care when you take a week off and you get back into practice, you just kind of scratch your head. The ball's going in every direction. It's trouble catching the ball, all that stuff. But each day I just felt like we continued to get better, and I thought our last 2 practices before we played were very good.
East Stroudsburg's one of those teams there. Vulcan's kind of beat them out for a decade, but it's one of those things that's kind of skewed because, again, you guys don't play everybody every year in the East, but they've been the prohibitive team really in the East for the last 10, 15 years. They're like one of those top teams, and they really scored the ball, but you held them to a season low 72 points and got the 91-72 victory.
Yeah, defense was great, and it really gave us opportunity in transition. We did a really good job. They press and pick up full court man and create a lot of turnovers. We did a good job taking care of the ball, and we had great shot selection, which limited them in transition. Outside of the rebounding that game, we played very, very well on both ends of the floor.
In that game, only had 10 turnovers again, and had 58 points in the paint and 34 fast breaks. So obviously, you were getting way to. When you got rebounds, you were able to go, and also breaking the press was huge for you. Buchanan, 10 of 15, you couldn't get much more efficient there, finishing with 26. Bryson having 18, Antoine 17, and it's just up and down the line. A lot of contributions from our guys in that contest. So it wasn't just a starting 5; it went down 6, 7, 8 guys with Keandre, Singleton, and even Clayton get some minutes there and playing big minutes.
Yeah, and with the starters, you mentioned Jordan. Buchanan and Bryson, they're playing, at a high level. Antoine has played at a high level as well, but now we're starting to get more contributions from guys off the bench. Jordan Clayton has played very well for us the last 8 games and has done a lot of good things and continues to get better. And obviously having Keandre and, getting Duncan back, I feel like our bench was very thin, now it's starting to grow, and we're going to need that when we get into, PSAC West is going to be difficult.
And then after that went on, you come back and play January 3rd with Kutztown, a team there. Obviously, East Stroudsburg has been very good for a long time. Their coach has been there one of the longest in the PSAC, Coach Wilson. But Kutztown went through a coaching change. Head coach retired at the early August, and they had an interim coach, so they've had a little bit of a rough patch. But you guys will find a way to get that victory at home going against Kutztown, 91-68 against the Golden Bears. Yeah, and again, I was just very happy with our defense. We're holding teams that under 70 points, we're going to get a good chance to win. And just on offense, we're sharing the basketball, a lot of assists over the weekend, and just leading to easy scoring opportunities for our guys. And I like when our guys are locked in and really focusing in on what they do well and playing to their strengths. I think that's just so important in today's game. What you do well, go out there and do it, and great things will happen. Yeah, Vulcan is up setting season high with 25 assists, and 11 of those by Braden Reynolds. So it's one of those things there. And even Bryson Lucas finished up with a 9.99, almost a triple-double. But it's just those guys overall just looking to pass the ball. 30 fast break points, easy to get when you get those transition buckets and dunks and everything like that. But just the guys being able to play at a high level consistently throughout the whole week. And Dahlman, again, second game back, really finding his rhythm here these last couple games. Yeah, Braden is really good at setting the table. Him and Bryson really do share and make good passes and really give guys easy opportunities to score, and they both did a great job. Obviously, you mentioned Bryson almost having a triple-double, with the rebounding and scoring. Bryson's played at a very high level, and I think that's a big reason why we've been able to win as many games as we have in a row. And then, getting Dahlman back, man, he made some great block shots. He just scored around the basket, just played good interior defense, and getting him back is important to us because he does bring a lot of factors to our team on the defensive end that really, really help us. Yeah, I know Dahlman had 4 blocks in that game, and I remember there was a sequence where he got back-to-back blocks. You put him and Joshua Ray in the middle there. Those are 2 guys who can really alter shots. Not to mention Bryson's his length, changing the passing lanes. It really gives you guys some depth in the middle of the interior. Makes it tough for teams to drive and even figure out where they want to shoot from because there's so much length all over the floor. Yeah, just those guys, if they can stay between their man and the rim, make it very difficult on the offensive player. So let's take a look back here so far the last handful of games. We'll take a break and preview the beginning of PSAC West play starting up this week with 2 critical matchups here at home. We'll be right back.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025 to 26, highlighting the many athletic achievements of its membership institutions. The PSAC has won 59 national team titles, 310 individual titles, produced 29 all-time Olympians, and 43 former PSAC players and coaches have been elected to National Halls of Fame. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
Hi, I'm Gene Steratore, CBS Rules analyst and longtime sports official. Today, mistreatment of officials has become normalized, and we are facing an abnormal future where no officials to hire means no games on the schedule. And the positive effects of athletic competition are at critical risk for this generation and those to come. Videos showing abusive treatment of officials multiply on social media, and there have been consequences for the dreadful behavior of players, fans, and coaches. Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support.
Hello, welcome back to the Danny Sancomb Show. Coach, got some good news for the program yesterday. Jordan Buchanan having back-to-back 20-point games, had 26 in the one, and then had 6 3-pointers in the second game, getting named PSAC West Athlete of the Week. It's obviously always good for the guys to see recognition for their solid play, but Jordan, it's the second time getting that award. He's really stepped his game up this year, being a full-time starter last year, basically from Thanksgiving on. But it's the time we've seen his game change from where he ended last March to already this year.
Yeah, it just continues to grow. Jordan's very solid, like each and every day. He is who he is. He works hard, good practice player, and it's good to see him, get an award like that. He obviously had great offensive games, but on the other side, we really talk about this. He did a really good job. The East Stroudsburg game, guarding 2 guys that shoot the 3 exceptionally well and made it very difficult for them. He also comes down and rebounds, does those things. Obviously, his ability to score, and he's just not a shooter, and I think that's the biggest part that has evolved in his game. Getting to the rim and being able to finish has gotten better. He's always been a really good shooter. He's going to continue to do that, but he just continues to do that. He's gotten stronger this year, so fun to watch his growth. He'll continue to play well just because of his mindset and his work ethic.
So again, the crossover play is finished. The league has a unique setup where they basically play 6 crossover games before the start of divisional play, where you face everybody twice. The West really set the tone. 3 teams right now, 6-0. Seton Hill, Cal, IUP, and then Seton Hill, Cal, Gannon at 6-0, and IUP is at 5-1. Slippery Rock 4-2, Edinburgh 4-2. So the West really put itself in a position here to really take a handle of the conference through the first half of the season. Yeah,
the West has gotten off to a good start in all the crossovers. West is very competitive this year. I've had an opportunity to watch all the teams play, and it will be a dogfight night in and night out for everybody.
So again, starting up the West play here on Wednesday, Seton Hill makes a short trip over from Greensburg. They're actually on a 5-game winning streak. Cal enters on an 8-game winning streak, and Gannon's on a 9-game winning streak. So a lot of victories coming into the Convocation Center here this week. But Seton Hill this year features a little bit different schedule. We've always talked for years they've run the zones. This year you said they've switched it up. So what have you seen on them so far on film, looking at other teams, but also really especially zeroing in on for Wednesday, what they've done well so far this year?
Well, offensively first, they're just very efficient. They're 51% from the field as a team, which is really impressive. Their bigs are good. They shoot the 3, one of them, and he's just big and can score, block shots. And 11 is a problem. He can score the ball in the post. He passes it very well. He puts the ball on the floor. He's a tough matchup, so we're going to have to be able to work. And then their guards are good. They attack, they get in the lane, they make good plays, they make open shots. And I think the big thing is that they play together. So offensively, they typically take good shots. So for us to have any success, we're really going to have to work and keep the ball in front and make them take contested shots.
Yeah, they're big. Ortiz, he actually, as a sophomore, he really changed his game. He developed his game up about 5 or 6 more points per game. And number 11, Curtis, he was a freshman of the year 2 years ago, and he actually leads the league in double-double. So those are two guys they really key on their bigs. And they actually really do a really good job. I like them, so they only commit 12 turnovers a game, so they really take care of the ball, not only their bigs, but also their guards.
Yeah, those two guys are good players, and they can score in different ways, which makes it, difficult. And like I said, then their guards are tough. They're not a real deep team, but they play very, very well, and they play at a very fast pace. So transition defense will be important to limit them, easy opportunities.
And then obviously Saturdays, again, you got to worry about Wednesday first, but Saturdays at Gannon, team that talk about pace, they obviously are the number 4 in the country in scoring, number 1 in turnovers forced, and number 4 in rebounds. So it's the same system you've seen before, same guys. Prosser's back, averaging 15, 2 steals and 4.5 assists. So it's just one of those things. You've already faced this team the last 3 years, basically. You know the system there. You've known it for over a decade from your time over at Wheeling, but then also facing West Liberty this year. Does that also kind of help you from the idea of you guys are used to the kind of pace?
Yeah, I think the big thing with all those teams is the competitive nature. They compete very hard. If you're going to beat, Seton Hill, you're going to beat a Gannon. You got to have a high competitive nature and be ready to play. And with both of those teams, you're going to go through some tough stretches during a game because they're good teams. You just got to stay consistent with who you are, really bring the defense, make it difficult, and then when things start to click, you'll have an opportunity to beat them. But Gannon, they're going to throw a lot of bodies. They play a lot of guys. Up tempo. They press trap. So again, valuing the basketball, taking care of the ball, playing at the pace that you feel comfortable with is going to be very important if you're going to have a chance to beat them.
Well, it's 2 big games here coming up in the Convocation Center. Nice little homestand for the Vulcans to open up 2026. First with Seton Hill on Wednesday at 7:30, and then Gannon on Saturday at 3 p.m. So plenty of chances to check the Vulcans out and see a lot of points being scored. You can follow the action on calvulcans.com and CUTV. Thanks for watching the Danny Sancomb Show.